Welcome to this YouTube preview, where I will show you all the key features of the Invoice Manager template. This file helps you with invoice creation, automatic invoice numbering, PDF generation, invoice database, client database, financial overviews, and tracking important deadlines. Let's take a look at how to use this template. Let's start on the main page called Invoice. Here, you can create a brand new invoice with just a few clicks. Start by clicking the New Invoice button. Then, we will gradually fill out the control form. Select the client's name. All client details will be automatically loaded from the database. Continue with the checkboxes, shipping address, and customer PO. When selected, they will display the shipping address and purchase order number. However, they are not mandatory, so you can choose not to display them. You can also change the account number or payment method. All of this is done simply by selecting from the pre-filled menus. Finally, enter the invoiced item, including its description, quantity, and any discount. The form provides a total of 20 rows for up to 20 different items. Press the Save button, and you're done. The invoice is now saved. We can verify this on the Invoice Overview page. See how simple it is? Just a few clicks. Now, we can cancel the same invoice. Maybe we made a mistake, so we'll delete the invoice before sending it to the customer. In the Action field, select Cancel, choose the customer, and find the most recent invoice in the drop-down menu. Once selected, it will automatically load into the form. Now, all we need to do is press the Save button, and the status of the saved invoice will change to Canceled. We can verify this again in the Invoice Overview. It's very easy. If we need to create a credit note, the process is the same. In the Action field, select Credit Note, choose the customer, and load the invoice. Then, adjust the line items to reflect the returned products or services. Finally, press Save. This time, the document label will change, and it will start with CN for Credit Note. All right, we have created a new invoice, canceled it, and issued a credit note. Now, let's take a look at the different workbook settings. We'll move to the Settings sheet. The first thing we'll look at is how to customize the template and possibly translate some text. Let's start with the translation. Press the Hide/Unhide Translation Columns button. This will reveal translation columns on certain pages. You can easily modify the text to suit your needs. Once you're done, press the Hide/Unhide Translation Columns button again to hide them. Another way to customize the main invoice form is in the Settings sheet. Here, check the checkbox Show Editable Cells on Invoice Sheet. This will highlight the editable cells on the invoice sheet in bright green. You can freely edit and modify these highlighted cells as needed. Another important setting is generating PDF documents with the invoice. If you want to generate a PDF file every time you save, you need to check the checkbox in the Settings sheet and set the path to the directory where the PDF documents will be saved. Remember, you must have sufficient write permissions for this directory. Otherwise, saving the PDF will not work. Now, let's take a look at the other sheets in the workbook. We'll start with the client database. It is used to store information about each client. To add a new client, enter their name and details in the next available row. The active checkbox is important. It indicates active clients. If you uncheck it, the client will no longer appear in the invoice creation dropdown. However, they will remain in the database, and you can reactivate them at any time. Pay attention to the last two columns, labeled as Custom Line. You can either fill them in or leave them blank. They're typically used for additional client information. In the Settings sheet, you can choose whether these custom lines will be displayed on your invoices or not. Now that we have added a new customer, we can create an invoice. Go to the Invoice sheet and click the New Invoice button. Select your newly added customer from the list and proceed with creating the invoice. We have created a new invoice in just a few moments. The invoice is now saved, and it's up to us to send it to the customer. The new invoice also appears immediately in the graphical annual overview. Simply select the year and use the filter to view a specific customer. Notice that the invoice is currently marked as unpaid, as it has just been created and has not yet been settled. To change the status to paid, go back to the invoice overview and check the box for the paid status in the corresponding row. The effect is immediate, and the invoice will now be marked as paid on all pages. On the annual overview page, you also have the option to display data for all clients at once. The main chart will then show the total invoiced amount and a comparison with the previous year. At the bottom of the same page, you'll find an overview of the top 10 customers by invoiced amount, the percentage of unpaid invoices, and a list of clients with overdue payments. Everything is presented visually, so you can easily see who pays on time and who still owes. The Invoice Manager offers additional useful features to help you keep track of your invoices. One of them is the Upcoming Events page. Here you will find a list of upcoming deadlines such as due dates and reminders sorted chronologically. This table also helps with payment follow-ups. If an invoice remains unpaid, the reminder date will appear here indicating when you should send a payment reminder to the customer. The final tool is the financial statement. This page allows you to generate a detailed overview for individual customers. Simply select a date and a customer, and you will instantly see a summary of all documents along with their status. You can easily save this overview as a PDF and send it directly to the customer as a complete record of their invoices. Before we finish this preview, let's briefly return to the settings sheet and highlight some tools that can make your work easier. You can create a database of accounts and payment methods directly in the settings. These accounts will then automatically appear in the main invoice form. This way, you don't have to enter the same account number repeatedly. Give each account a clear name so you can easily identify it. You can also set the file to use your preferred currency. For example, you can change it to Euro or any other currency that is supported. All of this can be done with just one click, and all cells and sheets will update automatically. To wrap up, Invoice Manager isn't just an invoicing tool. It's your personal assistant for keeping finances in check. It automates numbering, generates PDF invoices instantly, and ensures you never miss a payment or reminder. With clear overviews and visual reports, you'll always know which customers are your top clients and who might need a little nudge to pay on time. No more messy spreadsheets, just a smooth, organized workflow. Why spend hours managing invoices manually when you can let this template do the work for you? Get your copy today in my Etsy store. Just click the link in the video description and start simplifying your invoicing process now.